Hi guys, so today we're going to be doing a thermostatic shower cartridge change. It's on a 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 shower. Let's get in there, let's get it done. Remember, like and subscribe. Now the more likes, the more subscribers we get, the better these videos will be for you. This is a 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 shower. You can tell by the little 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 marking here. So basically what we need to do is take out this little bit here and then use an Allen key inside this here to unscrew that. And then that head comes off. You've then got a little screw inside here because we're going to have to reuse this shroud on the new thermostatic cartridge. I'm just going to take this off. Let's get this old thermostat cartridge out. We need to take off this top one, so you do the same. Take out this, use this Allen key, take this off, and then once that's off, we're going to take this back panel out. So what I'm going to do is get that done. So once you've got that off, these themselves, sometimes they're loose enough to screw them out. And they'll come off at the same time as the panel. Now this is the on-off, I'm not changing that one. This is the temperature control, that's the one they're changing. Now taking this off, you may have silicone around the outside, so we need to cut that and then pull that panel forward. So you want to be cutting down the edges of these to get that silicone out. So with a bit of prizing, you can get this off the wall. And then you're left with this here. So the way that we're going to get this off is we need to get a screwdriver into this little notch and then tap it anti-clockwise and this will come out. But before we do that, we need to go turn off the water. We've got a unvented hot water cylinder. So this is the isolation for the hot and the cold, because as it comes down, you've got your balanced cold that comes along, and then you've also got your hot that comes down and feeds the tank. So turn that off, we'll turn off the hot and the cold. I can make sure the water's off and drain it. It will still have pressure in there because it was an unvented, but that will stop in a second. So let it still just have the pressure in there. You can go turn a tap on downstairs as well if you want to drain the entire system. But what I will do is I will leave this tap open and I'll turn on the shower, and that'll allow any water to drain out. So that's the hot off and the cold off at the same time. And I'm just going to open this top one, which will allow any water in this valve part to drain out as well. So basically there's a little notch here. I'm going to use a screwdriver and we're going to put it in there and we're going to tap it anti-clockwise to come out. So tap it around, and there's another notch on the other side and you can tap that as well. It doesn't need a lot and that should become loose. So some of them are different, some have this, some of them you can actually grab hold of the cartridge and it turns and the cartridge comes out. It just depends on what design, what make, what model you've got. And that's it basically. You put that to one side. So when you pull this out, you might get a little bit of water, but it just pulls straight out, it doesn't twist. But I've managed to drain the water out of there prior. That's the old one. This is the new one. Same size, same thing. This is plastic, that's brass. So all we do basically is this one is insert back in. This little lug goes in the little lug there. And we need to push that all the way back in. Which could be right in. And then we put the brass holder back in. Again, put that in there, and then this time we're going to be turning it clockwise, and then once we get it in there fully, we need to then use the screwdriver again, and then basically what we're going to do is get the screwdriver and the hammer, and as you saw before, we're going to tap that round. Don't tap it in too hard. It's not to make a water seal, it's to hold this in place, so if you ever need to come back, it's going to be easier to get out. I'm going to tap that in now. So basically what we've done is we've tapped this in now, and this is holding this back in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all the front back on. We're going to take this seal off and put a new seal on this when we actually do it. And then we're going to put the fronts back on. Now we can take the seal off by just basically cutting up there and getting this all, cleaned off. I'm gonna use 2 hands, and then I'll show you the next part. So before we put this front panel on, we're just going to test this, make sure that it doesn't leak. To do that, we need to turn the water back on and do it without the panel. So I'll just do that now. So again, we're in here, all we'll do is to turn this lever back on. And it should to start to fill the system. Always turn them on slowly. That's come back off, so we'll just reattach that on there. And there you go, that's now reattached. Okay, so the water's back on. You may get air coming out of this tap. Let's turn it on slowly. The hot, the cold, and the hot. And then obviously you're checking, this part here for any leakages, any drips, or any water coming out of where this thread is, which that is fine. So what we can do is put the front back on and get this working. To seal this panel is just put silicone around the edges and then put that back on. So you need silicone all the way around the edges, and then when we put this back on, we need to make sure it's the right way up. So remember, the top is the on-off, the bottom is the temperature. So the top there is the on-off and the bottom's the temperature. So let me get this stuck on. This is back on now. We're going to push it back more, but what we're going to do is we're going to remember to tighten these back up. These go onto the valves themselves, and we tighten these up and make sure that they're straight, and then we can put the heads back on, and then we can test the temperature. Okay, so we push this back. You see the silicone coming out around the edges, which is good because we want a proper seal on there. We're going to get this cleaned up, get it cleaned off. I'm going to do that with these big wipes here. Once that's been put back on, you're just looking for a decent seal around the top. We'll get it cleaned up as well. We're going to put the knobs back on. It's pretty simple. So again, this top one you can just put on. So this is off position at the moment. I've put this facing downwards, so it looks like so, and then the other one. So again, do the grub screw inside of the Allen key and then stick on the blanking cap. So all we're going to do basically is turn this one on. This has got an overhead, so you want it to come out the handle one really first so you don't get wet. So turn that on, and we're just going to test the temperature. Give it a second to get up to temperature. So this should be 38 degrees. And then you should be able to bring it round now hotter, which is definitely getting hotter there. But the most important as well is you should be able to get it to cold on its own, which is fine. Come back to 38. And then again. Perfect. That's basically how you change a shower thermostat on one of these 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 showers. Just tell the customer to leave the silicone to dry for 12 to 24 hours before using it. Let that set off, and then that's it. So if you like these videos, remember to hit that like button, subscribe. It makes the channel grow. It allows me to do a lot more videos for yourselves.